Right now, somewhere in your city, two people are leaving the same office building after the same shift, depositing nearly identical paychecks into their bank accounts, and one of them is quietly, steadily building a fortune, while the other one will work until they physically cannot anymore. Same company, same job title, same salary, no inheritance, no lottery, no side hustle that blew up. Just 5 habits, 5 specific, invisible behaviors that one of them does automatically and the other one has never even heard of. And here is the part that should make you stop scrolling. The one who is building the fortune is not smarter, not luckier, not more disciplined in some superhuman way. She just learned a few things earlier that nobody bothered to teach the other guy, and the gap between them is now closing in on $1 million. I'm going to show you exactly what those 5 habits are, why they work, and why most people go their entire working lives without anyone ever sitting them down and explaining any of this. Let's start with the first habit, because without it, nothing else you do with your finances will matter much. It is called paying yourself first, and the phrase sounds simple until you actually look at how most people handle their paychecks. Then it starts to feel like the most radical idea you have ever heard. Think about the average American worker. Paycheck comes in, rent or mortgage goes out, car payment, utilities, phone bill, subscriptions, groceries, gas, then maybe dinner out a few times, maybe something for the kids, maybe something that just felt necessary in the moment. And at the end of the month, if anything is left, it goes to savings. And there's almost never anything left. That person has been doing this for 15, 20 years and has almost nothing to show for it financially. Not because they are irresponsible, but because they set up their money in the worst possible order. The person building real wealth does something that looks almost identical, but is structurally the opposite. Before the paycheck ever touches her checking account, a fixed percentage, 15%, sometimes more, is automatically redirected to a retirement account, a Roth IRA, a brokerage account. She never sees it. She cannot spend it. It is gone before her brain registers it as available. She lives on the rest, and her lifestyle has quietly adjusted to that number without her ever feeling deprived. The psychology here matters more than the math, though the math is staggering on its own. When money sits in your checking account, it is available. Your brain knows it is available. Every decision you make about spending that month happens against the backdrop of that number. Remove the money before it lands, and the decision never gets made. You adapt. You live on less without noticing. The person who saves whatever is left over will save almost nothing, because human beings are not wired to voluntarily shrink what feels like available resources. The person who automates savings first removes the decision entirely. And that is the difference between a retirement account worth $40,000 after 20 years and one worth $400,000. If you take nothing else from this video, take this one thing and set it up this week. Log into your 401k. Increase the contribution percentage until it hurts just slightly. If your company does not offer one, open a Roth IRA and set up automatic monthly transfers. Make the money disappear before you can spend it. Your lifestyle will adjust faster than you think, and you will not remember what you were spending it on anyway. The second habit is where most people who actually do save something still manage to sabotage themselves. And it is sneaky because it feels like a reward you deserve. Every time you get a raise, your lifestyle gets a raise too. The apartment gets bigger, the car gets newer, the vacations get longer, the dinners get nicer. And there is nothing morally wrong with enjoying the money you earn. But there is a devastating financial consequence to absorbing every single dollar of income growth into your spending. Think about what a raise actually is if you handle it correctly. It is the single easiest opportunity you will ever have to dramatically increase your savings rate without changing your current quality of life at all, because you are already living fine on your old salary. If you were managing on $65,000 and you get bumped to $72,000, You can redirect that entire $7,000 increase to investments, and your daily life does not change by a single dollar. Your coffee is the same. Your rent is the same. Your grocery bill is the same. $7,000 a year going into index funds for the next 20 years is not a small thing. People who build real wealth on middle-class salaries do this compulsively, almost obsessively. Every raise gets captured before lifestyle inflation can swallow it. Their spending might creep up slightly over time, but their savings rate climbs faster, and eventually the investments start generating returns that dwarf what they are contributing from their paychecks. The third habit is about debt, and this one tends to make people defensive, so I am going to be direct. There is a category of debt that will reliably destroy your ability to build wealth no matter how much you earn, and most people in this country are swimming in it. Borrowing money to buy things that lose value is financial suicide done on an installment plan. A car you financed at 7% is costing you thousands of dollars extra for an asset that will be worth 30% less in 3 years. A credit card balance you are carrying at 18 or 22% is not just expensive, it is a machine that runs in reverse. I'm taking money out of your future and handing it to a bank. The person who builds a 7-figure net worth on a normal income treats debt like a tool with exactly one legitimate use case: borrowing against something that is genuinely likely to appreciate in value. A mortgage on a reasonably priced home in a market that tends to grow. A business loan on a venture with real revenue potential. That is about it. Cars get bought used and paid for in cash. Credit cards get paid in full every single month without exception. The interest you are not paying to banks is money that goes into your investment accounts instead, and over 20 years that redirection is worth more than most people realize, often 6 figures just from avoiding the interest expense alone. The fourth habit is about what you do when unexpected money shows up. And I want you to think honestly about your last bonus or tax refund before you read this, because most people already know this pattern in themselves. Money that arrives outside of the normal paycheck cycle gets treated differently by your brain. It feels like a windfall. It feels like permission. It feels like the universe finally giving you a little room to breathe. And the mental list of things you have been putting off starts assembling itself automatically. That vacation, that furniture, that thing you have been eyeing for months. People who build real wealth have a rule that is almost mechanical in its simplicity. Every windfall goes directly into investments, full stop, no deliberation. Not most of it. Not after they take a little for themselves. All of it. Because the math on this habit is almost offensive in how clearly it separates the two groups. $15,000 in bonuses invested annually over 15 years, compounding at 8%, does not become $15,000. It becomes something closer to $300,000. The same $15,000 spent on things that gave a temporary dopamine hit and are now gone is worth exactly zero. The person who treats bonuses as investment capital and the person who treats them as permission to spend are building entirely different financial futures, and they might be sitting in the same office on the same salary, and you would never know it from the outside. The fifth habit is the one people find most surprising because it feels like a technicality, a rounding error, until you run the numbers over a lifetime. Investment fees are theft that does not look like theft. A fund charging 0.68% annually instead of 0.03% does not sound like a catastrophic difference. But on a portfolio growing towards 7 figures over 2 or 3 decades, that difference compounds into hundreds of thousands of dollars that quietly leave your account in small, invisible increments every year and end up in the fund company's revenue. People who build wealth obsessively track expense ratios. They move money to the cheapest index funds available. They roll over old 401ks to platforms with lower cost options. They treat fees the way they would treat any other recurring expense draining their account, with hostility. The good news is that this one takes maybe an hour to fix. Log into every retirement account you own right now and look at the expense ratio on every fund you hold. If anything is above 0.2%, find the equivalent index fund in your plan that charges less and move the money. Vanguard and Fidelity both offer funds that charge less than 0.1%. That hour of work will probably be worth more money than most people make in a month by the time they retire. These 5 habits are not complicated. They are not secrets. They are just invisible unless someone shows them to you. And most people go their entire working lives without anyone ever showing them. Start with the first one this week. The rest will follow. If this landed for you, if something clicked or shifted while you were watching, drop a word in the comments. And not a generic, great video, but the real thing. Which of these 5 habits is the one you have been skipping? Or maybe there is a 6th one you figured out on your own that the people around you never seem to talk about. That kind of conversation is why this community exists, and honestly, those comments teach me as much as anything I put in the videos. This channel grows one real conversation at a time. If you want to be part of that, the subscribe button is right there, and it would mean a lot to have you around for the next one.